Hey friends, today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm a frequent Reddit user, so I decided why not to go through Netherlands subreddit and check popular posts, questions, and just misconceptions and comment on it. Let's do it. Alright, so we have this subreddit Air Netherlands, and it's most popular subreddit about Netherlands in English. There are a few Dutch subreddits as well. And let's check by top of all times at first. So we'll see the most popular videos about the Netherlands. Where the Netherlands begins. There are no borders in it. Yeah, as you can see, the road in the Netherlands is really good. And as a recent car owner, recent driver on the Netherlands road, I definitely can confirm that Dutch roads are really good in most of the places, in most of the country. And sometimes when you're crossing the border, I don't want to say to which country you cross the border, there is a pretty noticeable difference between the road quality. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, this one I've posted on my community blog because I really like it. Rebers in the Netherlands. I was raised by the streets, and you see the streets are really beautiful here. And it's kind of funny because, as you know, most of the hip-hop rap culture is around struggle, around to be brought up in a poor condition, poor neighborhoods in the United States mainly. And yeah, it was different maybe 20 years ago, I'm not sure, but right now the worst districts are usually much better than any worst district in my country or some other countries. Hoping this disease doesn't spread to the Netherlands. Well, I'm actually kinda agree, and I personally don't like these trucks in general, but in the United States they kinda make sense because the roads are huge, the distances between the lanes are very wide, and the parking lots are big, and people travel big distances, and they sometimes maybe they're farmers and they need to transport something. Here in the Netherlands we have a really narrow roads in most of the country, and these trucks looks absolutely ridiculous when you see them on the street. They take like 2 parking spots usually, and they look hideous absolutely on the Dutch streets. Everything is so petite and tiny here, and yeah, that's just looks out of place in my opinion. A warning for refugees from Ukraine staying in the Netherlands about air raid siren tests. Actually very good posts because, as you probably know, the Ukrainian refugees, they come from the war zone, and the sirens might mean that, yeah, basically something bad is gonna happen. And here in the Netherlands, we have a tradition. Every first Monday of each month, the testing siren starts going off, and you hear the sirens all over the country, and people, and me included, when they first time come into the country, they kind of worried a little bit. What's happening? Like, you need to go somewhere, you need to run. But yeah, and of course people coming from the war zone, it can be very traumatic, so it's a good warning. Netherlands ranks number 1 for least racist countries. Yeah, as I already said in the other video, I don't particularly experience racism anywhere. As you can imagine, I'm a white guy. Yeah, and it's kind of makes sense, but it's good that many research indeed say that Netherlands is the least racist country in the world. I'm not sure what sources they use though, so it can be double checked, of course. 6 feet is 1.82, 88 doesn't seem that tall. Americans, bro, any height over 6 feet is genetic lottery. Well, basically, Dutch people is very tall. They are the tallest people in the world. And so basically 182 or 6 feet, it's the average height for Dutch people. Is this true? English swearing, French swearing, Spanish swearing, German swearing, Russian swearing, Arabic swearing, Dutch swearing, yeah, that's really true. And it's so strange, especially for me coming from the country where, as you can see, the SpongeBob is really angry. We have so many swear words in Russian, and it's the whole another language. And many of the Slavic languages use Russian swear words as well. When I hear Dutch swearing and when I speak to people about it, it's really a lot of cancer-related offenses, which sounds both hilarious and also very offensive in kind of way, because cancer is not a joke. It's a serious disease, and but I should mention that mostly it's a young kids that uses these swear words, usually like, I don't know, 16, 17, and basically one of the main swear words is just cancer sufferer, for example. I'm not gonna say it in Dutch because it sounds horrible, and that's interesting observation. But most of the adult people I met, they just use English swear words, just standard F word. It's pretty sufficient and understandable for anybody. To all refugees of Ukraine, your passport is your ticket in the Netherlands. Very nice. Insensitive for NS. I actually like NS, despite all the criticism of this company. I think it's one of the best companies I've ever seen that provides train services, especially considering they're monopolists here, and monopolists usually tend to be less poor in quality. And yeah, I think it's very nice what they're doing. Dutch people, is it true? Will you receive food as a guest at someone's house? It's said that very unlikely to give you food in the red zone. So it's the Scandinavian countries, Netherlands, and Germany. To be honest, I'm not sure, because I'm mostly friends with more younger people and international people who traveled. And I think when I was as a guest at Dutch People House, there was a food. But also it may be the effect of more international people and maybe local, like a Dutch local people, they really don't cook when you come to them as a guest. As you can see, Russia here is usually yes, and I think it's pretty common when somebody comes to your house, you cook something for them. The Dutch, oh yeah, this is a really, really funny video, and I think it's very, very famous. I would say it's not only the Dutchest video ever, but The Hague. Yeah. The seagulls. The seagulls are really, really jerks, and it's a terrible birds. And when we lived in The Hague, we experienced the full relationship with them, how they aggressive, how they can just took something from you, how they even knock into the house, into the window by their nose. So yeah, it's crazy. And I think this is a pretty famous place somewhere in the Hague or in the region, and it says on this sign, "Be careful of seagulls, they attack." And this sign is always there. Congrats you all, the best of Europe, best non-native English speakers, English proficiency index. Yeah, that's true, and it's true not only on the numbers, but in the real life as well. I don't remember any Dutch people that I met. Maybe a couple of Dutch people that I met, they don't speak English very well, but most of them can get by anyway, even old people. But I think it's very common for expats, for immigrants from some of the countries that don't know Dutch, because they just come here, they know their local language, and they're learning Dutch right away. So they know Dutch and their local language, so it's very common. They don't even learn English, and honestly, you don't need English if you only planning to stay in the Netherlands. What are some of the craziest, wildest, but definitely true stories from across history? And yeah, as far as I know, this is not true. I'm not sure how these names were formed, because they're really, really funny. As you can see, niemand means nobody, Zondervan, not from anywhere, Van de Hoek, around the corner. There is also Van der Berg, which is pretty common, which means from the mountain. And as you know, probably the Netherlands doesn't have any mountains at all. So yeah, that's funny, but yeah, the story, I don't think it's true. Meanwhile, in Amsterdam, yeah, I'm not sure if the Amsterdam is the most windy place here, but definitely after living in The Hague, I could say the winds here can be absolutely horrendous. And yeah, you're just basically coming out from the train station and you won't just go back because how horrible the wind is. Or the biking is real struggle in the wind as well. One part of the reason why we bought electric bikes. Unfortunate choice of clothing. Also, yeah, the guy has like a Panama shirt. I think it's very good because it doesn't usually matter with this rain what clothes you have. You're gonna get soaked anyway. This is true, to be honest. American walls, no, please don't hurt me again. German and Dutch, photoshopped. Come here and try again. Then I'm like, yeah, it's actually very true. I think it wasn't a surprise for me because coming from Russia, we also have a very, very strong walls. Gypsum board, or I'm not sure, cardboard walls, how they called. But here it's mostly concrete. And recently I was in the new house. We've been drilling a lot, like to put out the pictures, for example, on the wall. And it's really hard. I didn't buy the most strongest drill, but it's pretty strong, and it's really, really hard to drill into these walls. So yeah, definitely true. Not sure about German's walls, but I assume they're the same. Okay, so this is interesting. What is incredibly Dutch thing, and the Dutch didn't realize it's true? Let's see the answers. The toilet birthday calendar. Also, it's a very common in post-Soviet countries, I think, in all of them. So it's not something new for me. The signs of yards on the windows with the name of the baby when one is born. Absolutely true. In our streets, it's constantly, and you sometimes go and think like, how many babies were born here? Because probably not all the people do this, but you see it all the time. So there are a lot of kids here in our area, and they get really creative. It's not like the signs are always the same. There are sometimes stork holding this bag, the stork bringing the baby. Sometimes there are just very well designed signs with the name. Sometimes it's something around the gender of the kid. It's very cool, actually. It brings up the street a little bit, and but also another tradition. I think when you get to some age, I'm not sure if it's specifically one specific age or different, because I've seen different signs. For example, when you got 50, there are usually some kind of floatable statue of the person, I guess. I think you can rent them. So for example, if it's a woman, it's a big woman floatable figurine. And it's usually drinking, and there are usually photos of something shameful. Well, not shameful, but I mean jokingly shameful about this person. Like, for example, the photos when they really drunk, or the photos when they are I don't know, somewhere falling down or something like this. And it's really, really funny. And I've seen this for 50 years, for I think 60. And they usually use these signs like a road signs. When it's a speed limit 50, for example, they use a lot of these signs. It's really funny that people do this here. A simple cheese sandwich as a lunch, approved. Amazing way of lunching. Congratulating me while my girlfriend had her birthday. This is a weird tradition, but I've never experienced it myself. But as far as I know, when the guest coming to someone's birthday, they also congratulating all the people in the room. And to me it sounds really weird, but I need to experience this to to really tell you how awkward it is to be in this situation. The noises you all make when reacting. Oh yes, when reacting to confusion or shock, you often hear a heh, and then explanatory ha, and there is also po. That's crazy. That the Dutch people make so much noises. There's a funny picture, advanced Dutch. So he he means finally. He he. Wait a minute. Ho ho. Wait a minute, yeah, don't rush me, yeah, I don't believe you, etc. And there are so many of these things, and they not all happened all the time, but sometimes I hear it from my Dutch friends, and I don't think they notice this. And it's common among young people as well. It doesn't matter the age, and it's really interesting because we don't have anything like this in my language or in English. As far as I know, it's also not a very common. Well, sometimes you say like wow or oh, pretty common things, but not as much different. Not noises, I guess, but sounds. I've noticed in the conversation whether it's silent or there's general mood of relaxation. People make breathy hair. It's the same thing. Curse words related to disease, yeah, cancer. Saying super a lot, non-Dutch friend. I didn't notice it from the Dutch, but I noticed it from the German people for sure. I think they use like a super as a kind of like cool. Dutch people say lekker a lot. Lekker basically mean tasty in terms of food, but it also means cool, nice, and a lot of different meanings. So like lekker man, it's a pretty common phrase. Cool dude. Cycling everywhere without being a cyclist. Well, this is a cycling country, so that's that's pretty common. How can I discourage bikes from being locked in front of my window? Yeah, I can imagine this is a huge pain in the ass, especially if you live in Amsterdam or Rotterdam or big cities. People sometimes park everywhere their bikes, and if you don't want to, I don't know, the unobstructed view, you need, maybe you have some products here. Is this real? Does the car has priority? Who goes first? The pedestrian, you? The pedestrian, so let me see it. The pedestrian and you the car. Oh yeah, actually the car has a, yeah, the car, so you is a right answer, of course, because this signs on the road, I think it means only for vehicles, like for bikes, for example, but not for people. So when a bike goes here, the car should stop, but when the pedestrian goes here, they don't need to stop. Why was my croissant free at Albert Heijn? Yeah, the Albert Heijn has so many different kind of promotions and games and gamifications inside. If you don't know, Albert Heijn is the biggest store chain here in Netherlands, and my wife is really into it, and she knows all of these different mind games, and you can get a lot of stuff for free there as well. There's some product of the week or of the month, and you just get it for free. And yeah, sometimes we just try different weird things because they were just free with Albert Heijn. So I guess it's the case here. Albert Heijn to go. Oh yeah, the Albert Heijn to go. Yeah, for sure. Also, we constantly use this. They have these stamps, and so when you buy 5 croissants, you get the 6 for free, and the coffee, with coffee as well. Beautiful capital city of the Netherlands. Yeah, Amsterdam can get really dirty, and I think I've seen this in Utrecht a few times as well, but I think it was the protests from the garbage collection company. But Amsterdam can easily get trashed because they have a lot of festivals, parties on the streets, and of course they usually can get pretty, yeah, basically a lot of waste on the streets. Not in Zwolle, we don't have anything like this. Maybe very rarely, but it gets cleaned up very fast. And it's reasonable to move from Amsterdam to Spain, Italy or Portugal for better quality of life. It's a very complicated topic, I think. I could get another video for that. Basically, in short, I think there are some things that better in southern countries in Europe, but there are some things, of course, that much better here in the Netherlands. So it's very depending on each case. Where cosmetics, etc. Cosmetics probably so expensive in Netherlands compared to Germany, but I think it's the taxes, VAT and other taxes that goes onto different cosmetics. Yeah, this is a good comment actually, because it's true. In Netherlands, often if you just coming to the Netherlands and you go to a store and you see some price, you might be shocked, especially in Albert Heijn, because it's way higher. And this is, I think, historical thing, because Dutch people really like different kinds of promotion, free things, etc. So the stores are kind of made a marketing out of that. So in the Netherlands, if you don't buy the promotions, you get a really high price. So basically, the buying on the promotion, it means it's the same price as buying regularly in other European countries like Germany, for example. A little bit annoying if you don't want to deal with this, but yeah, well, you will be paying a lot more in that case. What is Dutch people equivalent of Italians not drinking cappuccino after 11 p.m.? So basically, I guess in Italy everybody drinks cappuccinos, especially after lunch. Don't wait for bitter pollen to cool down, eat them while they're still the same temperature as lava. Only one hot meal a day? No, eating pepperoni and before. What? I don't know what it is. Yeah, I have no idea. Never seen it, but probably another Dutch sweet that common in the winter times. Finally, Duolingo is teaching me my landlord language. Geen huisdieren. That's pretty funny. It means no pets, of course. And sometimes Duolingo can be very helpful in teaching you some phrases. Sometimes they just doesn't make any sense at all. Last summer's day, 5 days ago. Yeah, it's still pretty warm actually. Today is 12th of September. It's not so warm today, but I think next week the hot is back. Stole my bike, will I get in trouble? Do you know how these images are made? Probably some render, but actually it's interesting. Yeah, Enscape 3D. It's very interesting because I've never seen so many rendering pictures as in the Netherlands, especially when you're buying a house or renting a house, or on Funda and other websites, and also when construction's happening, there are always renders. So it's so common. So I guess this just software is very popular, and it looks very good. Sometimes I open a house on Funda and it's like, is it render or is it real? And then I see the constructions like next year finished. So I understand, but they get really, really good. I guess the AI can also get very helpful in the near future with these kind of things. Dutch plan to raise hotel sales tax, not well thought. Yeah, this is a pretty recent because Netherlands government decided to increase VAT for all the hotels, I think to 21%, yeah, from 9%, which is crazy because the prices on the hotels here are very, very huge as it is, and now they're going to be even bigger because of course the hotels won't be paying it from their pocket. They will move it to the consumer, to the guests. Created a website to quickly compare car sharing options. That's pretty cool. Yeah, very useful. I've never seen it. Ride share compare. This is why I really like Reddit. You sometimes can find very, very cool websites that people make just for fun of it. They don't even make money on it, and yeah, I just love Reddit. It's a great place if you abstract yourself from all the negativity, of course, and political topics. Compromise on the table, train tickets price should rise 6%, not 12 next years. I think NS right now talking a lot with the government to not increase prices that high because they're planning 12% increase. This year they didn't increase it at all because of influx of the money from Dutch government. And people are really, really not happy about 12% increase because Dutch trains are very expensive already, and right now they discussing it with the government to get another funding, I guess, to reduce this increase. 100% courting in Albergheim. Yeah, this is what happens on the promotions. I usually go into the store and I know something on the promotion, or I even don't know, for example. And if it's on the promotion, it's very common that the shelves are pretty empty. Okay, this is a weird parking because, yeah, I've also never seen it. Sometimes you see these signs, parking with a family near IKEA, for example. So I guess if you have kids, even one, you can park on these parking lots. I usually just ignore them because we're usually two people only, and I don't think two people is a family. And here is the disabled sign, so yeah, it's very weird. Okay guys, I think that's it. I hope you liked this video. It was very experimental. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Should I do more of this? And I really like Reddit, but we can use some other resources, or I can just find another subreddits. It was really fun video to make, and yeah, just let me know. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check my other videos about life in the Netherlands here, and see you in the next one. Doei doei.